just the way that he's able to do exactly what he wants, no matter the cover is crazy.
He didn't even mention, what was that? 40, 2020, 30, 2020?
30, 2020.
He had that, but that one we wasn't even tripping. No, we wasn't even tripping on that one. Now it's just like a good game.
Good job.
Solid game. He missed a few shots he should have made that game. Yeah. It's just crazy.
Welcome to The Young Man and the Three, as always presented by 342 Productions and our friends at Wondery Media. Cam, who are we with?
We're today with another Denver Nugget teammate, Peyton Watson.
Yes, sir.
Peyton's coming off of a great season with Denver, continues to get better year by year, has a bright future ahead of him.
Thank you, my man. It's good to be here. Thank y'all for having me. And it's good to be working with you now. I think we got some big things ahead, so I'm excited for it.
How would you describe what Cam is walking into?
I would describe it as just like the perfect opportunity to do something like really major. Like to win a championship is really hard to do in this league, and it's only a certain amount of teams that you feel like really have the DNA to do it and the roster and just the locker room presence to do it. But our team has always been super tight-knit. Obviously, acquiring Cam and acquiring Tim, that's going to be huge for us. But, just to have their veteran voices in there will be great. But I think it's a great locker room. I think we got some special players, obviously, and I think we got all the makings of what could be really a special team. So I'm excited for it, and I think you should be too, for sure.
What have you liked about your time in Denver so far?
I would just say just the authenticity. I feel like the fans are super authentic. I feel like everybody truly loves the team. And it's not just one of those things where people go to the games and they're on their phones all game and posting about where they're at. They're actually engaging in the game and they're sports fans. So I think that Denver's a super great place for me to start my career, or for you to be now. I think you're gonna get some fans that'll be with you forever.
Man, I've been walking around. I've been in Phoenix. I've been around here. And when I was in Denver, I didn't know how many Nuggets fans there were. Like, there's Nuggets fan coming at, like, oh, I'm from Colorado. I'm a Nuggets fan.
Coming
I've been a Nuggets fan since,
right?
I'm like, I didn't know that Nuggets fans was everywhere like that, though.
It's crazy.
Pretty cool to see. I was really excited to see that.
No, it's crazy because you start to really realize when you're in Denver that it's super centrally located in the country. So, there's people always moving to Denver or moving from Denver to West Coast where I'm from, or even, to the Midwest as well. So, there's Denver fans everywhere. Like I had my first camp the other day out in California, where I'm from, and there was a girl who was from Denver, and they traveled all the way to LA just to go to my camp. So that was super special. And like you said, they're everywhere.
It's a great sports city in general. Broncos, like they roll deep on everything.
No
I heard even the Rocky Stadium has been great crowds.
I haven't even been. Time. I was trying to make it to a game, but I haven't been this year.
We'll pop out.
We about to pop out to one for sure. But even our hockey team, the Avalanche, they won the championship the same year we did, I believe. So it's a good sports town for sure. And I think that with the continued success and the team and the talent that we have right now, it's a super bright spot for Denver sports for sure. What's
it like being a teammate of the two-man, of those two together?
Of Jamal and Yoke. It's great. Just to kind of learn from them. From day one, I've always kind of just looked at what they've done and kind of spectated from afar when I really wasn't playing. And I was just always watching them do their work habits and what time they were getting to the gym, what they were eating before the games. And they're just two super, consistent dudes. They're consistent with their work. They're consistent in their approach to the game, their demeanors. Like, it seems at times like Yoke can be emotionless and things like that, but when you're really around him on a day-to-day basis, like, he's the biggest jokester, bro. He's the most animated person sometimes. But I just feel like when both of those two get on the court, they're killers. And obviously playing alongside them, they just make the game easy. And they just draw so much attention themselves that it opens up, spots for myself.
You got on the court a lot as your career has progressed through effort, defense, being in the right spot, taking advantage of opportunities. Where do you see your game growing from here? And where has it grown so far in your time in the league, time in Denver?
I definitely just say just becoming a more consistent shooter has done a lot for me and opened things up. I remember earlier in my career, like last year when I first started really playing. And even at the beginning of this year, coming off injury in the preseason, teams were sagging off of me. And for me, that was honestly not something that affected me mentally. Because, sometimes when you're wide open, it's like, is this the ethical shot to take if they're always leaving me wide open? But my teammates and my coaches encouraged me to continue to shoot them and rep them out. And as I've become a more productive shooter, I think I shot like 46% or something from the corners last year, and 35 all around. I just think continuing to sharpen that part of my game and shoot well all around the arc, learning some things from yourself, Tim. I shot with Tim this morning, and it's just the consistency in every single shot, and things that I'm picking up on that are making me a better shooter and making me more of a threat. So I think that that's something that definitely has, brought me more success, but just everything, learning the game more, becoming more comfortable, learning how to play off of people, when to cut, when to space. It's been big for me. And I've actually played a lot of forward, and that's something that I never really had to do. But, when you in the league, you might have to.
The number don't matter, though.
You ain't never set a ball screen before, but you're running into all these small actions and things that help free up guys. So it's definitely, it took some learning for me. But as I've gotten better at it, I've just found myself, with more easy buckets and able to, create things for my teammates as well.
This has just been on the shooting. We talk about shooting all the time, but it's just reps, right? Like when you guys get in the gym, this is just habits in terms of your advice.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is habits, and then we talked about this with Tim on the pod the other day. Is like I like to have an approach that tries to transfer it over to the game.
Yeah,
because the mental pressures of shooting, when you're just shooting, catch and shoots, you're able to catch a rhythm. There's no defense, and there's really no punishment for missing. Like in the game, the deflating feeling of missing a wide open three. The feeling of being 0 for 4,
1,000%.
0 for 5. And it affects the next shot. As much as we want to say it doesn't, it does.
100%.
So I try to mimic those pressures in a workout type environment, whether it's competing versus just makes versus misses, shots on the move, fatigue shots. There's just so many ways to approach it over my career. That's how I've I think become a better shooter.
1,000%. I would agree with you 100%. I think a lot of times for me, like the reps definitely matter, but me and one of the guys I trained with, Darrell Wright, played in the league for a long time. We call it you got to be nerdy. So every single shot, you got to really focus in on whatever mechanics work for you and things that allow you to, shoot your best and optimize that. So, yeah.
Yeah, so like the important part about that, especially in an NBA sense, is that with an 82-game season and not much time in between, like in college, all of us were able to go back to practice and get live reps to find a rhythm back. Yeah. So say I had a bad shooting game or 2 games, like I have time in between to try to get that back on track. 1,000%. But in the league, if you're off, you might be rolling into, if you're 0 for 7, you might be rolling to the next night you got to play.
3 games in 5 nights.
Exactly. So there's not much time to just get away and work on it. That's why being nerdy really comes into play, because then you can get back to the basics quicker and try to kind of undo the slide that you're on or keep a hot streak going.
Exactly.
We were talking before you got here about some of the challenges of being a young, gifted but young, sort of inexperienced player on a really good team, on a team that has champions expectations, and the pressures that go with that. There's obviously pressures playing in the league in general, but when you are like, okay, if I have an 0 for 4 night, I'm not sure I'm going to see the floor, especially your rookie year, your sophomore year. How have you managed to juggle those anxieties over time?
I think it's definitely something like Cam said that affects you, just the ebbs and flows of the NBA season. When you first get to the league, I don't think anyone understands how many games it is and how many days in a row you have dedicated to perfecting your craft over and over and being pushed. Like, for me, it was just all about finding an even kill mindset to the point where it's like, okay, I have a bad game this game. I know what I did before my last good game to prepare. I need to go back to that, and I need to go back to the basics and whatever. Whether that's if you feel your best when you're being super aggressive rebounding, so you get a feel for the ball in your hands, or you go to the free throw line, you sink some free throws, then the basket starts to open up for you. So I think it's just, discovering all those things within, an NBA season that helps you with those things for sure.
What do you think about defensively? I mean, you made such an impact, since you've come into the league, but your transition from college to the pros and what that was like for you in terms of the physicality, the speed, everything.
I mean, I think a lot of times it comes down to the discipline aspect, especially when you have like an archetype like myself where I'm long, lanky, my feet are quick, I can move laterally, but it's the little things like a veteran guard might pump fake you or get into your body, pump fake you, and then pivot again and shoot. Like, it was all about, for me, getting down the timing and being more disciplined when I defended, because I always felt like I had the potential to, and I always kind of intrusively feel like if somebody's targeting you or somebody's going at you, that's almost like a sign of disrespect. So you always got to be solid on defense and be able to, hold your ground. And the more and more I grew into my talent for that, I also grew the mindset of you have to be patient with it. I can block this shot, but would it just be better if I contest it so I don't foul or I don't jump for a pump fake? So it was just gauging those things and still kind of trying to stay true to who I am, which is a defensive playmaker.
Yeah, I mean, a cool part of that is like in basketball in general, you have, it's easy to look at games from overall bird's eye view, but when it comes down to it, especially being a young player on a team with championship aspirations where it feels like your leash is very, very short, is like, there's things that you can control and there's things that are a lot harder for you to control. And things that you can always control, your effort, your attention to detail, where you are in the court, how you communicate, and things like that. So when you kind of make those be the markers of how you performed, and early on you might get 3 shots in a game, 2-3 shots in a game, you might not even shoot. You know what I mean? So if you're hanging your hat, if you're, living and dying by box scores in that instance, it's going to be really tough on you mentally.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I think it's, you got to be able to, like I said before, just stay even kill, especially in those times where you wish you could, like, I wish I got more looks, or I shot 2 for 5, but I feel like if I would have shot 7 shots, I would have been 4 for 7. Like, there's always those thoughts in the back of your head. But at the end of the day, what I always try to do is be glass half full and understand that, well, if I shot 5 shots and I make all 5, I end up with 14 points. You add some free throws here, I make 2 threes, that'll get you to 14 points, which for our team is amazing because we got Jokic who's going to get 30. We got Jamal who's going to contribute 25. We had Michael who's going to get 18. AG, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it was just all about filling in those little gaps and just, trying to be as efficient as I can with what I get, for sure.
What's been coming off this playoff run, your perspective on the balance mentally with both the Clipper series and then OKC, just the ebbs and flows of what came with that?
I definitely say that the playoffs are definitely a testament to resilience. Like, you got to be able to lose a game or lose 2 games in a row and still maintain the vision and the mindset that you can win still. Like, and that's something that my partner Dame, who works with me, has instilled in me a lot, is just to never lose hope with any of this stuff, because we've seen it before. Teams come down from 3-1 or 3-0. Like, it's crazy. So you never know what can happen, And once you get that momentum back, you just got to ride it as long as you can. But this playoffs was definitely, it showed us that, like, you got to be healthy at the right times. And, you can never predict it. Like, with Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton in the primes of their career, prime physical shape probably, and something just happens and it's just like, damn, that's the nature of the sport. But it was all about, I think, being able to go deep on your bench this year. Like, you saw OKC and the Pacers, they went 9-10 deep, and that really helped and saved their starters a little bit of, extra rest so that they were able to come in and close when it was needed. And I think that's why our front office was aggressive with making trades, like for you and for Tim, just to have that extra little spark, because 2, 3, 4, 5 points can win you a ball game.
Absolutely. There's a lot to be learned from playoff basketball too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've seen it in a lot of series. You've been in a lot of good series, you know what I mean? And you've seen a lot, coming out on top, losing tough ones. What else have you learned from those series that you can take with you to make yourself a better player?
Just to take advantage of every opportunity, for sure, because I feel like me personally, over the last 2 years, we were this close to being able to win it all. Now, you can't operate on hypotheticals and what if we beat this team, do we beat the next team? But we lose 2 game 7s, we go out on 2 game 7s where we gave, our all in that series. And you just got to learn to take those opportunities when you can. Like, I feel like when we won the championship my rookie year, it was all I knew, so I kind of took it for granted. Like, oh, we could win again next year and the year after that. But, every team has their year, and you got to take advantage of those opportunities when they come and really exhaust everything in the tank, because it's like you never know when you'll get back there. Like, when we won the championship my first year, DeAndre had played 15 seasons. And that was his first time to the finals and his first time winning a championship. On great teams with Hall of Famers. So you talk about Reggie Jackson, Ish Smith, like guys who played in the league for a long time, and that was the only time they got there and they won. So you never know, how many chances you got at it. So you really got to take advantage of them.
Outside of the obvious, what were your favorite moments from the champ run?
I would definitely say, it just almost felt like a dream to me, because we just played so many elite, players, and we also were in great cities. Like, we came and we played Phoenix, and Phoenix was right. The Valley was rocking. We went to 6 with them. They won 2 at their crib, and it was rocking in there. Like, I'm talking about super loud. And Katie and Book just went on heaters. Like, I'm talking about hitting everything in there. Sometimes there's nothing you could do. Like, Joker had 56 one of the games. We still lost out there. So, I just take away from it being able to play in some amazing environments, and also just being able to watch it, like some amazing performances. Jamal, 30 points in the first half in LA one game. We really needed it. Like, it was just all around a great experience for me to learn more about the game and to learn more about what it takes for, to be at the top.
Yeah, you were spoiled early for sure.
For sure.
But playoff basketball is what we all play for.
1,000%.
You've made it every year of your career and had good runs and had great series. I hope you're never on the outside of it. But when you're on the outside of it and that season ends, man, and you watch the playoffs, like, one, you feel like, man, like, this sucks.
Real talk, yeah.
I feel weak. Everybody out there having fun, I feel weak.
Real talk.
And then on the other hand, it's like, that's what we compete for, man. The chance to win championships is like, we go out there, we play 82 games. Playing 82 games and you're not going to make the playoffs is tough. Like, you're just getting beat up. But on the playoff teams that I've been on, you coming down the stretch and you're looking forward to what's ahead. Like, you get a boost. Like,
for sure, 1,000%.
And it becomes its own season. So I'm really looking forward to that part about being in Denver is the experience that you guys have and those championship aspirations that we have as a group. And I'm really excited to get to work.
We've talked from the outside looking in. We talked a little bit with Tim last week just about Joker in general. We can name every stat in the world, everything like this. Being with him, he's had a lot of crazy moments. He's had a lot of crazy individual plays. He's had a lot of crazy games. Do you have like a list of like 3 or 4 you're like, okay, these were the ones to me that stood out?
Yeah, there's definitely some performances that stand out to me. Like, every time we go to Washington, D.C., like, they have a huge Serbian population there. And as soon as you walk in the arena with Joker, they're going crazy, like as if we're the home team. And every single time, no matter who's on the other side playing center. I remember my first year, it was Daniel Gafford. My second year, I think it was Jonas Valanciunas, I think. But every time we go there, he has 50 and 20 rebounds or something. And it's just always so crazy just because there's a huge Serbian population there. And that's always crazy to me that he could just flip it on and decide, like, I'm going to go get 50 tonight because there's a lot of fans here. That's pretty crazy. So it's like, it's really crazy when he does that. There was one play that didn't even go in this season where there was like 0.3 left on the clock. And Joker's known for the heaves. Like, he'll take it every time. There was 0.3 on the clock. And I was inbounding the ball off the free throw. It was a make. And he was like, throw it up like a lob. So I throw it up like a lob, and he like volleyball smacks it down the length of the floor. And it like airballed probably by 4 or 5 feet. But he almost got that shit to go. So that was one where I'm just like, bro, you'll do it. Like, if there's any time on the clock, you're trying to get the points, which is, to me is a testament to still shoot however good he shot from 3 with all the heaves that he had was crazy. And he made 2, one off a Euro step. And I assisted that one too, which was funny.
Take the assist.
We'll take the assist every time. We'll take the assist every time. But, and then one more, I would just say when he has 60, this year, 60, 20, and 10 versus the Timberwolves, it was just like every time down, he was getting to exactly where he wanted to go on Rudy, who's, considered one of the best defensive bigs in almost league history. So just the way that he's able to do exactly what he wants, no matter the cover, is crazy.
He didn't even mention, what was that? 40, 2020, 30, 2020?
30, 2020.
He had that, but that one, we wasn't even tripping. No, we wasn't even tripping on that one. Now it's just like a good game.
Good job.
Solid game. He missed a few shots he should have made that game. Yeah. It's just crazy.
The thing, we didn't really talk about this too much with Tim the other day, but with some of your other teammates, with AG and I think with Jamal in particular, I mean, Jamal was like the boogeyman to the Lakers. You know what I mean? It's like, you got Joker on your team, but like that's the guy that they do not want to see.
Game winners.
I mean, he's a gamer, bro. Like, you talk about someone who just like kind of has a natural fire and competitive edge for the game. Like, he's one of those people where when he feels the most challenge is when it's going to bring the best out of him, I think. And that's something that I've noticed with him from day one, is that he's a gamer. So, when we beat the Lakers all them times, it started to just get so routine. Like, every time the ball was in his hands, versus whatever covers they were giving him, he was making the right play, whether that was two-man game with Jokic or creating his own offense. So, I mean, he was big, but I mean, a lot of our guys played amazing in those games. I remember AG scored like 19 or 21 points in the paint one of those games versus the Lakers. Like, everyone just, I don't know what it is, but we play well. I don't know if it's because we take the matchup personally or whatever the case may be. But, playing in the West against the Lakers, like, their fan base is crazy. So, like, I feel like it just adds a little something to it.
Does your Long Beach, does that become tricky with your crew?
It doesn't become tricky with me because I'm loyal to where I'm at. But I was definitely a Lakers fan before I got to the NBA. And obviously I forfeited that immediately. But I love it. I love to, play well against them and win games against them. To do that in front of my home crowd and my family, it means a lot to me. So those games always mean a lot. And I've played in LA in the playoffs every year that I've been in the league.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was dope. It's dope.
I think it's a crazy weekend, so we'll probably close with this. I just wanted to get both your guys' perspectives. We're taping this Friday night of Summer League. Your advice to the rookies, to the guys who are the second-year guys who are here now, who are starting this journey, going through this particular process of the next 10 days, but then also, I mean, you talked a little bit about earlier about you finding your legs in the league and just, what they should be thinking about, how they should be balancing themselves to put themselves in your position,
You could go first, Cam.
The first thing I say is don't be your own worst enemy. And I think that gets in the way with a lot of people. There's a lot of talented people in the world. There's a lot of good hoopers. The first thing I try to encourage everybody to do is just don't be your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Consistently do the right things. Give it your best shot. Be in the right spots. Be attentive. Pay attention to detail. Like, these are finite opportunities, And a lot of guys in the summer league are fringe. A good summer league performance puts them over the top, and they get a contract. Or a bad summer league performance kind of takes them down in the front office's eyes. So while that is a lot of pressure, it's also a game. Have fun, be your best self, and just make the most of it.
Yeah, I would definitely, like Cam said, just always have an amazing attitude, always have amazing energy, because that's the type of stuff that people are going to look out for the most. Like, I was talking to our GM, John Wallace, today, or actually yesterday at our summer league game, and I asked him, I was like, how big a factor is body language and a kid's approach and his energy in the game? He was like, sometimes that's more important than the game, because it's like, you watch Cooper Flagg, say, for instance, yesterday. He shot 5 for 21, and he even said that's the worst I've ever shot. But I still saw him blocking shots. I saw him make the right plays, timely passes, and that's the stuff that I look for, because everybody knows when he gets comfortable, he gets his feet under him, he's gonna shoot better.
Right.
He's gonna, being over there with Clay, Kyrie, and AD, like, you couldn't ask for better guys to kind of learn from, and I think that'll do wonders for him. But I just like the way that he was playing hard. He was rebounding. He was still blocking shots, making the right plays, and that was something that stood out to me. Just like his body language, he was super even keel. He never got down on his teammates, and that type of stuff is important for sure.
Yeah, that's great.
Super well said. Peyton Watson, we'll be seeing you in Denver.
My guys, I appreciate y'all having me.